Classy dog, Tritos. Oscar, Tritos. I'm kind of a foodie. Got spam and tomato sandwiches. Gonna finish up this short story. I've got an unboxing from Long Lived Coins. And I'm gonna sit out here in the cold weather, which is what kind of got me in the predicament in the first place, but rinse and repeat is what I say. This is actually pretty good. Nice. What do you think, Lassie? She wants this sandwich. You had your Tritos. We'll keep going. The Wamsutter Wolf from where we left off. So this friend of mine, the Cheyenne, I asked him once, "You got any sisters?" Christ, he got mad. I lost my place. Sore as hell, he's still all fired up. All I did was ask a simple question, but you might have thought I was asking him to suck my dick. I never paid no taxes. The U.S. government, and that goes for game and fish, can kiss my butt. Old Claude Dallas had the right idea. They come mess around your camp, shoot them. I don't pay taxes. I don't need their stinking pensions or Social Security or that Medicare shit. Cut my own hair, never shaved since I were a colt, but I keep my beard trimmed up. Never liked to see a woodsy man with big, bushy whiskers. Catches in the willers. I was going to run for governor last election. He released a prolonged blast of wind and a stench of burning tires surrounded them. Buddy wondered what in the name of Reverend Outlaw Claude Dallas the man had eaten. Raw skunk? Greg seemed not to notice and stuck out his calloused hand for the bourbon bottle. Now, that's good stuff. I made moonshine and all kind of homemade whiskey, but you can't get it no more, and it's no good in the taste. You got to have a good whiskey barrel, and all I had was a goddamn old pickle barrel. That's the one concession I make to civilization, liquor. It's a hard make, and I have to say it's worth all they ask for it. Buddy, glancing at the muddy power wagon, the rifle in the back window, the mountain man's stainless steel wristwatch, thought Greg made a few other concessions to civilization and excused himself, saying he had to bring his French fries in to Sherry. In the trailer, Sherry was mixing the barbecue sauce. She had dumped a large bowl of ketchup into a bowl and was stirring brown sugar and Tabasco. "What I really need," she said, "is whiskey. About a tablespoon of whiskey makes it real smooth. But I tell you, what is almost as good? Cough syrup." She rummaged in the cupboard and brought out a small bottle whose contents went into the red sauce. And some salt. There, she dropped a raw slab of antelope meat into the bowl and laid a newspaper across the top. "Just let her set for half hour or so and Greg can cook it. He does all the cooking when he visits. He won't let nobody else even try. He's out there at the grill long as anybody wants some meat. He's a sweetheart." She lit a cigarette and got 2 beers from the refrigerator, passed one to him. "Let's go join the party," she said, pulling on a huge green sweater. Cherry and Greg were talkative and half-flirting, Greg explaining what his platform would be if he ran for governor again. "First thing I do is make the wolf the state animal, put the wolf on the license plate, get rid of that damn bucking bronco. People say them big Canadian greys they brought into Wyoming is not the native wolf. Race interrupted, spoke very loudly. What I'd do, he said, is open up Yellowstone Park for hunting, clean the place out and get the oil and mining interests in. Could be just like Alaska used to be. Pay each resident a couple $1,000s just for living here. He let out a huge gobbling laugh, then fell silent again. His eyes wandered, and he was jumpy. Greg continued. Anyways, they say the native wolf, the Rocky Mountain wolf, was smaller than those Canadian wolves, a little bit bigger than coyotes, and they didn't used to run in no packs. Solitary. It's a lot of hot air. Same animal. Everybody in the state got an opinion about wolves, mostly wrong. Woof, said Lai, rubbing the nipple of his baby bottle into the dirt. But if I was to be an animal, that's what I'd want to be, a big, gray, Canadian, Wyoming wolf. I look at a wolf, I look at myself. Race Wham sat on the picnic table, jiggling his leg impatiently. When Buddy, trying to make conversation, asked him a question about his job, he only grunted. After about 10 minutes, he suddenly shouted at Greg, "When the hell you gonna cook that meat?" Little Vernon Clarence, on the steps with the barrel of his toy revolver in his mouth, gave a startled jump and began to cry. Race turned on the child. "Shut that fucking mouth or I'll kill you," he screamed. "Take it easy, Race, baby," said Greg, getting up and going to the grill to see if the coals were ready. He tried for a light tone. "Don't never rile a mountain man or you'll have your hands full. Old mountain man Vernon Clarence there will tie you in a pretzel." He winked at the drunk and bawling child. "You don't want to cry so loud," Greg said to him. "Them wolves will come eat you up. That's what they do. They eat up crying boys, crunch their bones." Vernon Clarence cried harder. "I'll get the meat," said Sherry, and she ran up the steps and into the trailer, hauling Vernon Clarence with her. "Everything I ever done," said Greg to Buddy as though all were calm, "I've done because I wanted to do it. Nobody made me do nothing, and nobody ever give me a medal for doing what I done. Nobody, no matter what, I never heard a fucking word of appreciation from nobody, and I don't care. That's how the ball bounces. That's how the wind blows. I come over here with 2 nice pronghorns, cook the meat, and I will make the coffee when we are ready. Cherry can't make a decent cup of coffee if you was to give her $100. I'll make it. No matter what you do, no matter who you help, they will step all over you, wipe their boots on you if they get the chance. But they don't affect me. I'm used to shitty people. Hell, I even like them." "Goddamn," shouted Race. "Work all week like a dog, have to sit and starve on the weekend. Listen, a lot of hot air about wolves. Where the hell are my smokes? Sherry!" "What?" she shouted from inside. "You got my cigarettes? And bring that meat out here so Greg can get cooking." Buddy could see the cigarette package under the picnic table. He picked them up and handed it to Race. "What the fuck are you doing with them?" "They were under the picnic table." "Yeah, I bet they were." As Race's face bunched up into a deformed squash shape, Sherry opened the door at the top of the trailer steps, holding the bowl of meat and sauce, edging out. Trying to keep the spring-loaded door from slamming on her heels. Partway down the steps, her sweater sleeve caught on a protruding nail. The slight jerk cut a notch in her balance, and she dropped the bowl, which hit the bottom step and broke into several large pieces. Sauce splattered and the meat fell in the dirt under the steps. "This fucking lousy, mean old trailer," she howled. "If I ever get me some money, I'll buy a real house somewhere. Not some fucking trailer in the sand." She turned and kicked at the door, sat on the top step, and began to cry, plump hands over her face. Behind her, Vernon Clarence's tear-smeared face appeared, and he too set up a fresh howl. And we'll leave it there. That's my favorite part of the story.